Why am I up so early on my 3-day weekend? I'll tell you why. Because I'm going. Woo! So yeah, that's right. I'm going. I'm basically just doing this for you guys. Like I said in the other episode, I don't really have room for any more cars or any more projects right now with the garage coming and stuff. But I haven't been there in a while, and I really just want to get a look around. You know, it's fun for me, and I haven't been there in a while. So it just, and I don't have anything to do today. Got a 3-day weekend finally. You know, I don't have to work overtime. So I'm just gonna go look some stuff over. I really no purpose to it, but you guys always enjoy it, so that's what I'm going to do this morning. So let's go have some fun. My only issue is it's supposed to rain today. I can already see it already rained. I really don't want to take this camera out there, but if it's dry I will. I do have rain cases, but then you can't hear what I'm saying, so I don't like to put them on. I'm going to take my Sony along, so if it is raining, I'll just use it, because I'm not worried. It was cheaper. I'm not worried about it getting damaged, and it still does good video. So hopefully we get some good footage for you today, and I'm not, you know, damaging any of my equipment. Not that I have top-of-the-line stuff, but I don't like buying new cameras, because I already have 4 of them. But I would love to have another action camera. I'd like to have like 3 or 4 of them, so like when I do action shots, I can have them all around the car and stuff like that. But it's a work in progress. So I need to start saving money for this garage. I mean, I have been saving money for this garage for several years. So I will be able to pay for most of the garage myself, but I still need to get a loan. And here I go rambling on. So let's get moving. Check out this beaut. I did finally hand wash and wax this thing. So this is like the first time since I bought it. It does have a lot more stone chips in it now, like there, here. The bumper has little chips in it. But that's because we've been driving her. It looks good though. Well, folks, you see something new every day. I don't know if I can get zoomed in on this. Yeah, right here. Let me get a close up. You see that? It's a front bumper made out of tires. It's made out of tires. Whoa, hold on a second. I'm not used to using the zoom. Yeah, somebody made a front bumper for their Trailblazer out of tires. What? Well, I didn't catch video of him, but the guy that's driving that Trailblazer looks like Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. Well, guys, I got up early this morning. I started videoing from the beginning. I was going to said auction. I arrived here and I was told that I'm not allowed to video here anymore. I'm not supposed to video at any locations for that matter. This didn't come from just the location I normally go to. This came from higher up. Apparently they've been watching my videos. For legal reasons, I am done doing auction videos or walkarounds. I will no longer use the emblem or advertise. I'm not one to do things, you know, to break procedures and go against the rules or whatnot. So from now on, just know that projects that I get may come from where I used to get cars. I'm not going to say where, you guys know, but I'm not going to stop my project videos. We're still going to roll with those. I'll start doing more vlogs instead. I'm going to keep the video content rolling. It's a little bit of a downer to me, and just like, I don't quite understand it, but I don't want to get into any legal issues with anybody, because I'm not, I guess when it comes to legal stuff, I'm not real savvy with it, you know. So I apologize to you guys. I got to delete a lot of footage that I already started, but that's the way it is. Hopefully we'll still have a video for you today, but I'm gonna pull out of this place and I'm gonna go home. So we'll see what happens. I want to be clear on one thing too. They did not tell me I couldn't use their name or, you know, anything like that, but just given the situation, I decided that I'm not gonna, you know, I'm just not gonna help them publicize them. That's all that is. As I had somebody question me on my live feed about, you know, if they told me I wasn't allowed to use their name. I don't want to stir up any kind of legal issue. I'm not going to use their emblem or I don't want to have any kind of like trademark issues or anything like that. So it's just going to be me, my projects, and finished projects. That's all this channel is going to be. That and vlogs in my stupid life, my stupid crazy life. But tomorrow I'm going to get some footage. Me and the wife, she is, I'm not 100% sure what we're doing. We're going to a fitness expo, or not an expo, but a fitness competition, like a bodybuilding competition. And but she's not competing. I'm not competing. I don't compete. It's just not my thing. But she is going to have a booth there selling her peanut butter. Thus the reason why I advertised it at the beginning of the video. I'm just trying to help her out. They never told me I couldn't. We know the owner of that company, and he's fine with everything. All right, so I'm watching some sort of audit auction right now, you know, but I've already lost on 2 vehicles. Nothing is really going for a deal right now, so I'm not gonna overbid just to get something. So I'm just watching for right now. I actually wasn't even gonna bid today, but just got the itch, you know what I mean? And whatever. I'm just a little bummed over this whole situation. But yeah, I'm gonna watch anyway. Today just doesn't seem like it's gonna be my day, but I got a couple more that I'm watching. So we'll see how that turns out, but I don't know. Just not happy with today. Well, I got something at some place. So I guess we'll go get it. I kind of wished I'd paid a little less for it, but it's nice. It's actually pretty nice. So we'll go get it. Set the camera down for this one. That's better. Just gonna remove some contraband off. Oh, that one's falling apart. Darn it. I'll have to paint over that. I can't have that on there. Contraband. Just a little insight on how this trip's going so far. I opened up my drink. You see that? Yeah. She exploded on me. I had to stop at Collins Gap because I had to use the little girl's room. I'm sitting here looking at it, and I looked this thing over kind of quick, and now I'm like, shit, because now I found more damage.
that I didn't realize was there. Let me get a zoom in on this. Didn't realize that was on there. So obviously that's a fender we need. But let me show you what I got. So I got a 2014 Chevy Cruze. It's not a turbo model, it's a non-turbo. I don't remember what size engine they are. I'll have to look it up. I think it's like a 1.8. Motor sounds good. It needs seatbelt retractors because they're tight. It needs a trunk lid, a bash bar in the back. Now that I see it, it needs a fender. And just some a little bit of body work, not much. This is what I didn't notice when I looked at it. I don't know how I missed this. I just did a quick glance over. I think I was concentrating on the rear end, looking at the rear, and I didn't, you know, in the pictures I didn't believe there was any front end damage, so that's why I totally missed that. And that possibly could even be fixed. It depends on how much a fender is, whether we're gonna go for that or not. The front bumper has some scuffs on it. We'll probably get all that taken care of. But overall, it's a really nice looking car. Really clean, good tires, automatic, and everything. So when I get back home, I'll get you some more footage of it. We'll get more in depth on it, and we'll show you guys around. Anyway, I just stopped halfway home. Always double check your straps when you're using a dolly, because that is the only thing, well, it's not the only thing holding it on there. I use chains too, so I have safety chains hooked up to it. But if those straps go, you're going for a ride. So I always stop and double check them. I have had them come off and come loose several times. I found that positioning them higher up on the tire instead of down and around them is actually better than having them further down on the tire. So just put your strap up tall, up on top of the tire. They normally hold a little better. They're holding good, so I don't need to do anything to it. So let's continue on the road. All right, so let me go over what all I did look at, since I didn't show you what I looked at. I lost on 3 vehicles before I landed on this one. Actually, I lost on 2. No, I lost on 2 vehicles, got this one, didn't bid on the last one because I didn't want to have 2 vehicles. First one up was a 2008 Mitsubishi Raider. If you're not familiar with them, they're a pickup truck. They're basically a Dodge Dakota, a 2008 Dodge Dakota, but they looked way better. In my opinion, the Mitsubishi truck looked way better than the Dakota. The only problem I saw with that one, I mean, it was very minimal damage, but it needed a hood. The fender could possibly have been fixed. It needed a headlight, and it needed some body work on the door. But all in all, it was a pretty simple fix. The only problem I saw whenever I do research and look up parts and stuff, parts were hard to find for them. Dodge Dakotas, you can get parts for them all day. Now that hood, I couldn't find any used ones. I found a new one, which was unpainted, was about $400. So Nothing was cheap. The fender, if I would have had to buy the fender, the cheapest one I saw was like $270. That was more than a Mercedes fender. Like, that was expensive. And then the headlight, I didn't even get to look it up. I kept finding the left-hand headlight, not the right hand. But it went up higher than I wanted to bid, so I let it go. Next one was a Suzuki SX4. It was the hatchback, and it was all-wheel drive. It had 68,000 miles on it. It was very clean. Got hit in the rear end, but it was very light damage. The bids got up on it, and I just decided I was going to let it go, so I did. And then a bunch of cars later, the Cruise came up, this one, and I looked at it and I knew how clean it was, and I was going to stop at a certain bid, and then I ended up going a little higher because I was like, this car was really nice, I kind of want to get it. And it has some problems with it that I have never worked with before that I want to get familiar with, and that's the airbag system. It has the airbag system light on. Both the front seat belts are tight, so I know that the detonators went off in them, or whatever, however they're set up, that they locked, so I'll have to get new seat belts. Besides that, that's just the only new thing I'm going to be learning off it. Everything else is I'm going to have Jerry hook up to that rear bash bar and pull the damage back a little bit, and maybe do a little work to the quarter panel. But Jerry's very familiar with Chevys too, as well, and it's going to be no issue. The next one up was something I've never been on before, and I found out it went cheaper than I thought it would have. I kind of wish I would have been on it, but it was a Chevy Colorado. It was the 4-cylinder, and it was a regular cab, but it was 4-wheel drive, and it was a hail damage car. And basically, unless you really wanted to get picky on it and fix all the little dents or put a new hood on, it needed a windshield, and you put a windshield in it and you could sell it as is. Thing fired up. It had higher miles, but it felt to me like it had a misfire. It had a check engine light on, and it vibrated a little bit. The engine sounded good. It just vibrated. So anyway, I didn't get to bid on that one because I had already won the Cruise. So I grew up in a Chevy family. I'm not particularly, set on just Chevys. I kind of like just about everything, except for the two, the Jeeps and Fords. But I'm still not opposed to getting, if it's a good deal, I'm still not opposed to buying those. But I don't really care for Chevy styling much anymore, but I do know they make good vehicles. And the Cruise being the cheaper model, they're very popular. A lot of people like them. I've never rode in one. I've never drove one. I can tell you the seats are very comfortable in it. The interior styling and everything is very nice for Chevy. Chevy's really stepped it up in the last couple of years with their interiors. They used to be junk, hard plastic. Like my truck. I feel like they could have did a better job on this interior. But if you've been in a new Chevy, God, are they nice. So anyway, I'll stop rambling on here, and I'll get the camera out when I get home. Alright, so you know how I said make sure you double check your straps. I got home and one of my straps was completely off. So anyway, I need to unload this thing. I got the straps off now. There we go. So let's go ahead and unload her. Well, that was a little painful, wasn't it? Trying to get it off there. I didn't want to rip the front bumper off. So, there it is. The little 1.8 liter. Looked it up, that's what it is. Don't see any like oil leaks, anything of that nature. Runs smooth. Looks like a newer battery. But you can see my coolant tank is empty. But I ran this thing for like 20 minutes while I was there to make sure that it wouldn't overheat. So there must be some coolant in the system because it maintained temperature. So I don't know if they just had a leak or what. The exhaust doesn't smell like antifreeze, so I know it's not burning it. So we'll take care of that. Probably just top it off and see how it goes. It's a nice color. It's like a light blue. But I got to get the paint code because I called that Tyrone Auto Salvage, and they told me they were going to see what they could do. You can see it kind of pushed this back end down just a little bit. That's why we got a crease here. This is going to be work for Jerry. He's going to hook to this with his frame puller and pull it back out. I got to get a new bash bar, but I'm going to leave this one on here because that's what he's going to hook to pull the damage out. But looks pretty solid. Over here we got a crease from it, and I told Jerry he might need to do some quarter panel work, but we'll see. There was another, well, I didn't see this, but he can fix all of this. The door gap looks good, so I'm thinking these dents aren't from this. They might have just dented it. I don't think that's bent because all the gaps look right. So probably just have Jerry fix that whenever he fixes the rest of this. But I'm outsourcing the parts I'm trying to get from salvage yards, so we'll see how that goes. Told him I thought I needed both taillights. I do, and but it runs good. It's quiet. Let me flip this stuff over. Obviously it says trunk open. You got an ABS light on. And like I said, seat belts are tight. I haven't checked the back seat belts yet. Whether we got to do all 4 of them. The back seat belts are still good on this side. But I'm gonna go up to the house and hook my code reader to it, and we'll see what all. Yeah, this one's good too. We'll see what all airbag codes we have. I'll get that junk bumper out, so we're not using it. But I'm gonna clean up my mess here and get this up to the house. So I'm gonna take us for a little drive to my house. First impressions, everything's really nice. I just turned the air conditioning on, which it works great. So we'll ride in style. I should have cut that zip tie off. Hopefully it doesn't shut the ignition off. Thing rides really nice. Nothing mechanically wrong with this car. Runs good. Brakes are good. Not making any weird noises. It's solid. So hey, look, my neighbor has a Chevy Cruze. Right there's all the parts I need. So anyway, my wife's home and she parked where I didn't want her to park. So let me go move some shit. So I'm back home right now, and I'm wondering why the AC wasn't cold. Didn't have it on. I hooked up my code reader and we have 5 codes, and you're seeing this as right now as I'm seeing it. So passenger seatbelt anchor pre-tensioner deployment loop. So yes, we need the passenger seat belt. Driver seat belt anchor, we know that. Passenger seat belt retractor pre-tensioner deployment loop. Okay. So it's both the seat belts, deployment command. So we know that we need both the seat belts. It's no big deal. I personally do not know if I have to get the crash module reset after this. What I'm sure you guys are gonna hit me up on the comments and let me know. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the seat belts and replace them, and then try to clear the codes, unless, you know, well, I'm gonna try it anyway. But like I said, I'm new to airbag systems. I never touched them before. I kind of wanted to get into them slowly. This one didn't need airbags, so I knew it had an airbag issue, but you know what I mean. Airbags, I was told, aren't hard, but unless it's like the one here, which I would think that blows out of the dash, that's a little bit more difficult, because then you got to replace the dash. I really don't want to get into that. But let me see. I cleared it, it came right back on. It says service airbag again. So we only got 4 codes this time. And yeah. So it cleared 1, but yeah. So that'll probably be our first project. I'm trying to source, I know there are lots of cruises out there. I called the one, that Tyrone Auto Salvage that I went to for the hatch for the Matrix, and they don't have any cruises, but they're gonna try to locate me some parts. I need to get into the trunk and figure out what the paint code is on this. It's a light blue, but I don't know for sure, so I'm gonna have to, you know, look it up and see what the paint code is, and then once they hook me up, you know, if I get a good deal on stuff, I want the same color paint, because I know there's body work that needs to be done. I want as less paint work that needs done as possible. The fender, I don't know if I'm going to get a new one or not. Jerry could fix that one, I'll be honest with you. He's pretty good at body work, and it's not that bad. He can fix it. But, you know, we'll see what we can do. The fender's not that bad, I might get it. We need to do a good cleanup in here. But yeah, it's very comfortable. It's very comfortable, and it drove really nice too. So that's a plus. Let me see if we have any other codes. All right, I just locked the door. All right, so I checked out everything, every system on the car, and the engine did have a fuel trim lean code, but it wasn't current. Like, I didn't have a light on the dash. It was just stored in there, so it might have been something that was already taken care of. But I cleared it. It didn't come back on. Also, like I said, we have both these seat belt pretensioners, whatever, that we need to replace, and that's really not that bad. So, given the circumstances of this thing, that's not the worst part about it. So kind of happy with that. But yeah, I want to go talk to Stewie and see what he thinks about this whole situation. So what do you think about this whole Copart situation, Stewie? Huh? You're not talking, huh? What do you think about this? Huh? You don't like it? You don't like it at all? No? Stella, what do you think about it? Huh? What do you think about it? Oh, she said she didn't want to talk about it. Tell me more. Yeah? Oh, you love Daddy. Alright, I just messed with some settings on my camera. I noticed it automatically gets too dark sometimes. I put it on the bright setting. Now it looks like it's way too bright, but whatever. You know the drill. Go check out some other videos, yada yada yada. Like, subscribe, all that good happy hooey.
Well, I had to go get propane for my wife, so I better hurry up and get in here before she kicks my butt, because she's abusive. Psych. But anyway, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out!